Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT +1, that is 11 a.m. GMT +1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT +1, that is 11 a.m. GMT +1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Bellis Quetta. Thanks for joining us. Now the news making the headlines. Lagos discharges 20 COVID-19 patients. Kenya records 54 COVID-19 recoveries. Italy's Conte offers hope as travel restrictions end. Oil hits $40 and Nigeria cuts production by 216,000 barrels per day. Osimhen named Lille Player of the Season. Don't go anywhere. The details of that news comes after the break. Welcome back. Now the news in full. Lagos discharges 20 COVID-19 patients. Lagos State has discharged 20 more coronavirus patients according to reports. The patients were discharged upon treatment and recovery, the State Health Ministry said via Twitter. It said the patients, 14 males and 6 females, were released to reunite with the society after testing negative twice for the virus. 20 COVID-19 patients, 6 females and 14 males, all Nigerians, have been discharged from the isolation facilities to reunite with the society. The patients, 11 from Bagada, 8 from Etiosa Landmark, and 1 from Agidingbi isolation centers, were discharged having fully recovered and tested negative to COVID-19. This brings to 928 the number of COVID-19 confirmed cases successfully managed and discharged in Lagos. And now moving forward, health workers disagree over government takeover of COVID-19 battle. The National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives and the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria have disagreed with the Nigerian Medical Association over the handover of the battle against COVID-19 to the state governments. The NMA President, Professor Innocent Uja, in an interview in Jos, said President Muhammadu Buhari should not have over the national response of COVID-19 to state governments. But the NANNM and the PSN in separate interviews expressed support for the takeover of the national COVID-19 response by the states. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, said one of the recommendations submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari was that states should manage the pandemic with coordination by the federal government. But the new president of the NMA, Professor Innocent Uja, while speaking in Jos, said allowing states to manage the disease will be counterproductive. However, the NAN also and the PSN in separate interviews argued that the states needed to take responsibility for the COVID-19 battles. The NANNM President Abdul Rafiu Adeniji stated that everything about COVID-19 was a collective responsibility and everybody has to play their role. In the same vein, the General Secretary of the PSN, Emeka Duru, stated that some states were more responsible than others. And on other news stories, the Benue State Governor lifts ban on religious activities. The Benue State Governor, Samuel Otom, has lifted ban on activities in churches and mosques. The governor also directed all civil servants in the state to resume work as from Monday, June 8. Otom, who announced a review of the COVID-19, said that churches and mosques were to hold staggered worship sessions. He said each worship session must not last more than 1 hour. Churches and mosques should endeavor to provide water, soap and alcohol-based hand sanitizers for worshippers and should insist on wearing a face mask. Workers are advised to always wear face masks and maintain physical social distancing as they go to work. Meanwhile, the state chairman of COVID-19 task force and deputy governor of the state, Benson Abonu, said that 16 people were arrested for flouting the interstate movement. And now on news coming from around Africa, Kenya records 54 COVID-19 recoveries. Kenya continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic with cases steadily rising each day. Government have locked down a handful of cities including the capital Nairobi and imposed a nighttime curfew as part of the containment efforts. Kenya as of May 10 was the 4th most impacted country in East Horn of Africa region, only behind Djibouti, Sudan and Somalia. Government also rolled out mass testing in virus hotspot. Borders remain short as a ban on public gathering continues. The CAS Health Rashid Aman announced at the briefing that 54 cases of coronavirus have successfully recovered. He said it is the highest number of recoveries so far recorded since they announced the first discharge case on the 1st of April 2020. This brings the country's recovery to 553. He appreciated and paid tribute to the healthcare workers for this success. This demonstrates that with good management, this disease, when clinically manifested, is curable and hence not a death sentence, he said. And still from around Africa, Lesotho former First Lady back in custody over the murder of rival. The wife of former Lesotho Prime Minister Thomas Thabane, who was charged with the murder of her husband's first wife, returned to prison after the court annulled her judicial review. Messiah Thabane was charged in February for her involvement in the 2017 murder of Lipolelo Thabane, the wife of the former head of government, Thomas Thabane. Mrs. Thabane has already spent a few hours in prison earlier this year before being released on parole in exchange for the payment of a bail of 1,000 maloti, that's an equivalent of 50 euros. After the cancellation of the judicial supervision measures from which Messiah Thabane benefited, the police could not immediately proceed with her arrest because she was in the neighboring country South Africa with her husband, who came there to receive treatment. She was arrested on her return to the country. The murder of Lipolelo Thabane, a case with many twists and turns, has plunged Lesotho into a serious political crisis. It led to the resignation of 80-year-old Thomas Thabane on the 19th of May, who was dropped by the coalition that had supported his government for 3 years. Thabane himself may still be charged. We're going to break right now. When we come back, we get news updates from the nation of Italy. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth. Experience something extraordinary. The gift of unending love.
On Thursday and Friday. On Thursday, we're going to be having a communion service. On Friday, we're going to be having a prayer service. But Thursday is very important. It's communion and healing service. The Lord said to me, before we gather again, I should take a day to declare another communion service. We're doing that on Thursday. To have a communion service, believing God for every physical ailment, spiritual ailment. There's going to be total cleansing, total purging, cleansing and purging on Thursday.
Communion and prayer service with Apostle Johnson Suleiman, 4th and 5th June 2020. Live on Celebration TV and all our social media platforms. Time 4 p.m. prompt. Grace is available for you.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth.
Welcome back now on updates from Italy. Italy's Conte offers hope as travel restrictions end. Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte offered a hopeful message as the country moved to its final stage in easing lockdowns restrictions. He said they deserve to smile, to be cheerful after weeks of great sacrifice. He added that now was the time for the country to enact economic reforms. With more than 33,600 fatalities and almost 234,000 cases since the coronavirus outbreak began, Italy has been one of the hardest hit countries. Only the USA and the UK had recorded higher death tolls. Mr. Conte's comments came the same day as the country entered its final phase in easing lockdown restrictions, allowing domestic travel between regions and opening its international borders. The crisis must be an opportunity to overcome structural problems and redesign the country, Mr. Conte said, adding that they have to deal with the economic and social emergency. The Prime Minister said the government was working to speed up social payment and pledges a serious tax reform. And now moving on to more updates from the United States of America. Trump's former defense secretary denounces president. Former U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis has denounced President Donald Trump, accusing him of stoking division and abusing his authority. In rare public comments, Mr. Mattis said the president had sought to divide the American people and had failed to provide mature leadership. He said he was angry and appalled by Mr. Trump's handling of recent unrest. In response, the president described Mr. Mattis as an overrated general and said he was glad that he left his post. Mr. Mattis resigned in 2018 after Mr. Trump decided to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria. He has remained mostly silent since then until his rebuke of the Trump administration was published in the Atlantic magazine. In response to the fresh criticism, Mr. Trump posted a series of tweets in which he claimed to have fired Mr. Mattis. Mr. Mattis said Donald Trump is the first president in his lifetime who does not try to unite the American people, does not even pretend to try, but instead he tries to divide them. Mr. Mattis also addressed the recent wave of anti-racist protests that were triggered by the death of African-American George Floyd in police custody. And right now, from the world of business, oil hits $40 and Nigeria cuts production by 216,000 barrels per day. Global oil commodities gained in prices as Brent crude, the benchmark against which Nigeria's crude is priced, rose to $40 per barrel of the time since March. Brent crude rose by 43 cents or 1.1% to $40 per barrel as of 2:52 GMT. This came as the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, declared that Nigeria's compliance to the crude oil production cut that was agreed by members and non-members of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries had reached 52%. In a tweet via his official Twitter handle, Silva said Nigeria joined its other OPEC Plus counterparts in April 2020 to bring into effect the agreement to cut 9.7 million barrels of crude oil daily. This, he said, was to ameliorate the current situation caused by COVID-19 pandemic. Silva said the country's current crude oil production had dipped, which was due to efforts in ensuring adequate compliance with the OPEC Plus oil cut agreement. OPEC members and non-members had been working hard to ensure the cut in production in order to help shore up global crude oil prices. And still from the world of business, workers protest and ask government to clear 17 billion naira contract debt. The protest and crisis rocking in the Abuja head office of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development took another turn as ministry workers protested against disruption of work by indebted contractors. Although the workers called on the management of the ministry to expedite action in settling its 17 billion naira debt to the contractors, they kicked against the continued disruption of business at the agriculture ministry by the contractors. In the past 2 weeks, aggrieved contractors of the ministry had continued to stage protests at the ministry, a development that had hampered activities at the ministry for weeks. In speaking on behalf of the union, the Joint Chairman Nigerian Civil Service Union, FMARD, Leon Esebane, said moving to the building to disrupt official business cannot bring about contractors' payment. Esebane said the issue on the contention were debt and payment, adding that the union was calling on the ministry's management to expedite action in paying the contractors. The National Assembly had to wade into matters as it urges contractors to stop the picketing based on the fact that the monies were now captured in the amended 2020 budget. The contractor had on May 21st stormed the ministry to demand the payment of their money. We're going on another break right now. When we come back, we get news from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Experience something extraordinary, the gift of unending love.
On Thursday and Friday, On Thursday, we're going to be having a communion service. On Friday, we're going to be having a prayer service. But Thursday is very important. It's communion and healing service. The Lord said to me, before we gather again, I should take a day to declare another communion service. We're doing that on Thursday. To have a communion service, believing God for every physical ailment, spiritual ailment. There's going to be total cleansing, total purging, cleansing and purging on Thursday.
Communion and prayer service with Apostle Johnson Suleiman, 4th and 5th June 2020. Live on Celebration TV and all our social media platforms. Time 4 p.m. prompt. Grace is available for you.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth.
Welcome back, and now on news from the world of sports. Osimhen named Lille Player of the Season. Victor Osimhen has been voted Lille's Player of the Season by his French League One club. He succeeds Nicolas Pepe, who won the award last season before departing for Arsenal for a record fee of £72 million. The Nigerian international beat the duo of Benjamin Andre and Renato Sanchez to the prestigious award. Andre finished second, while Sanchez placed third from the votes cast. Osimhen scored 18 goals and recorded 6 assists in 31 appearances across all competitions for Lille before the League One season in France was called off due to the coronavirus pandemic. The former Wolfsburg striker finished the season as the full top scorer in the French League One with 13 goals, tied with Paris Saint-Germain's Neymar. He also became the third player after Moussa Sow and Nicolas Pepe to have scored more goals for the club after 28 days of a League One season in the last 40 seasons. The 21-year-old joined Lille from Belgian club Sporting Charleroi last summer for €12 million. Osimhen was named in the League One team of the season. And now in another sports news, Ighalo is happy to extend United contract. Manchester United striker Odion Ighalo says he is excited and relieved after extending his loan deal at the club until January 31st, 2021. Ighalo, who joined the Red Devils from Chinese side Shanghai Shenhua on January transfer deadline day, hit the ground running, finding the back of the net 4 times in 8 appearances before the suspension of football in Europe due to the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. Ighalo's contract at United had expired on May 31st, but an agreement was reached between both clubs on June 1st to extend his deal with the striker. In an interview with the MUTV group chat, Ighalo says he is buzzing at extending his deal at the club. And that's the size of the news today on Celebration Television News Desk. If you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. Lagos discharges 20 COVID-19 patients. Kenya records 54 COVID-19 recoveries. Italy's Conte offers hope as travel restrictions end. Oil hits $40 and Nigeria cuts production by 216,000 barrels per day. And on sports, Osimhen named Lille's Player of the Season. And on to the photo of the day today, we have a quote which says, "The people you spend time with influence your attitude, your thoughts, and success more than you think." So most of us, we relate with people and we might not know that our relations, our company influences our thoughts, our actions, and even the success that we have in everything we do. So we have to check who we relate with and who we call our friends. All right, you can tell us your own idea about that quote for the day. Tell us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, we are at My Celebration TV. On YouTube, we are www.youtube.com/Celebration TV. You can also watch Celebration TV on Sky Channel 598 if you are in any part of Europe. And you can follow us on all our social media platforms and comment, follow our programs, our live broadcasts to get abreast with every part of the news. Don't forget, the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold as a nation's president, as a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, and a professional, or as a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all, making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. So, you must play your part and do it with all diligence. Thanks for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squatter. Have a nice day.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.